Hi, and welcome to the first part of my evaluation for my AS Media production. I'm going to be talking about how I used, developed or challenged the codes and conventions in this video blog, and also perhaps what real media institution would distribute this product. So I'll start off with talking about the codes and conventions. Obviously I did quite a lot of research into this, and on the basis of this research I would probably say that my product generally it uses and perhaps develops on some of the existing codes and conventions. I would say it largely uses them because really it's similar to films like Johnny English, a Kick-Ass, which both have quite played down heroes. They're not spectacular. They're both sort of normal guys. Yeah, and I'd say that's probably one of the main things that I would say, is why I think that it uses the conventions. I'd say it does perhaps develop them a bit further, because I think it perhaps does it to perhaps a new level, because this character in my film, he seems very much like an ordinary guy, and that's what he is. Whereas I say in a film like Johnny English, the main character, yes, he appears ordinary, but actually he isn't ordinary, and so I think that is probably the main thing that would come out of that. But then I'd say you could also say that it does challenge those other texts out there, because films like James Bond, for example, Indiana Jones, Batman, they're all sort of quite over the top. The people who are the heroes who you're meant to be sort of connecting with, I'd say they're quite extravagant people, people who perhaps are unlikely to have a connection with. So I guess in that sense you could say it's challenging, but I'd also say I think it's more using, just purely because of the characterizations that I've took on board from probably the other films that I've watched. And as well, I think it also uses a lot of the conventions given, because the pace of the action sequence at the start is I've tried to create the fast sort of nature of it, and that was in pretty much every action film I looked at. So regardless of whether the character is realistic or not, pretty much every action film had a fast-paced sequence, and that's something that I've tried to create in my film. And as well, the types of cuts, very sort of quick cuts, straight cuts, generally no sort of fancy effects or anything, just sort of straight cuts, because maintaining the pace, keeping it nice and flowing. Yeah, so I say that's another way that I've used it. And another, again, is music. Again, that added to the pace, which, like I've mentioned before, is very important. And the music, it's upbeat. The soundtrack I've used, it perfectly generates tension, and that's really what you want from an action film. So I say for those reasons, it is largely using the conventions that have been laid down by other media texts. Bless me. And also, I was going to go on to say what kind of media institution would distribute this. I would say that perhaps, due to some of the reasons which I touched upon earlier, perhaps the character not being, shall we say, extravagant, I would say perhaps maybe a lesser film company, so not sort of like your big companies that are going to do you things like Batman, James Bond, Indiana Jones, and perhaps sort of maybe a film 4 film, but you know, I still think that it is quite a big film that many people could enjoy, and I think really it's not too dissimilar to some of the films out there, like Kick-Ass. So yeah, I'd say, you know, for that reason that you could say that it could be potentially a big film, but you know, I just don't think you can compare it to the scale of a film like James Bond or Indiana Jones. Yeah, so really that's the end for part 1 of this evaluation of my AS production. I hope you have enjoyed the product first and foremost, and appreciate the analysis that I've done for you.